Welcome to the Chelsea Fans Channel. It is time to do our new style preview. We're obviously playing Manchester City in a clash that, although it doesn't mean too much, could be a really good opportunity for us. Do us a favour, this is a new style thing, so if you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up just so we can monitor if you like the new system. What we're going to be discussing firstly is the context of this fixture, what it means to both clubs. We're then going to discuss the opposition, which is going to be fun. We're then going to discuss the star man, the man that we need to watch out for from Manchester City, and I have a feeling you're going to know him very well. We are then going to pick a team, and it's a team that we have been speaking about earlier, and I think there's a few surprises in it, so make sure that you comment below and let me know, do you agree with our joint team selection? Sophia, welcome to the studio. Lovely to see you back.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Swansea was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, really uplifting. I feel really positive after that performance. We were saying earlier, it's tough for us to be uplifted about anything at the moment because I don't know the last time we were in a position where you've got 4 or 5 games left of the season and we have 0 to play for. Yeah. Europe is out of the question.
It's a new low for Chelsea Football Club, isn't it? Not having to bother with the final 5 fixtures of the season.
You never thought Chelsea-Man City is such a great fixture at the Bridge, and we're all going, yeah, great. So
should be a title decider, really,
exactly.
Shouldn't it?
But it's not to be this season. So.
And more good news, in the spirit of good news, Manchester City have finally found a bit of form. I think they've won 2 games on the bounce for the first time since October. Yeah. They've had a fantastic week, and
off the back of a massive win against PSG.
Yes, I know it's humiliating really because I thought that Paris Saint-Germain, having played us, were brilliant. I thought that this is a team that could go all the way in the Champions League. I thought City did brilliantly. They made them look average.
Fair play to them. You credit where credit's due.
Yeah, it was something I was quite pleased to see. Not generally one to hope that English teams do well in Europe, but it was nice to see Manchester City knocking Paris Saint-Germain out. Are you optimistic about this fixture? Do you feel like we have it in us to win this? Does it matter if we win it?
Listen, I don't think you can ever go into a game not wanting to win or not saying anything matters. Of course it matters. Of course we want to win. If there's any way we can finish the season on a little bit of a high because it's been such an abysmal season, obviously as a Chelsea fan I would opt for that. I always think there's a little bit of a bragging rights in terms of the fixture. Could we will impact how the rest of the season finishes, and how the table finishes. Pep going there in the summer, wouldn't it be disappointing if they didn't finish 4th? If we have an impact on that, great. And I think, as we've said before, I think now it's all down to youth and looking at us for next season.
Yes.
So that's what we need to focus on and stick these young kids in and see how they fare.
Yes, I completely agree. City are looking good for a top 4 finish now. They've had a really good season. They've won a trophy already. They're in the semi-finals of the Champions League. This is a brilliant week for them. They're coming to Stamford Bridge full of optimism, and I'm sure that there's a really great vibe around the club. Do you think that they're going to get top 4? Do you see them maintaining that position?
I do, personally, yeah. I think it's, between Man United and I don't know if West Ham's slightly fallen away, even though they had a really good... They came back and got quite a good result against Arsenal. But to me, I think City are too strong.
Yes, I'm inclined to agree with you. I suppose we're going to have to discuss a key man for Manchester City. We've discussed it, and I'm sure that you can guess already who it is. The person who we are most fearful of coming to Stamford Bridge is none other than our mate, Kevin De Bruyne. A fantastic talent.
Yeah, and a talent we let go, which is pretty disappointing. But, he's all credit to him again. He's done fantastically well there.
Yes, I think it's a very interesting debate, isn't it, with regard to De Bruyne, because when we sold him, it seemed like quite good business. He played 3 games for Chelsea. We got £18 million for him. At the time, we also went on to win the league. So when we won the league, nobody was going, what's Kevin De Bruyne doing in Wolfsburg? We were quite happy with the situation. Since then, the times have changed slightly, and he has shown his class. He is a wonderful talent, isn't he?
Do you think no one saw that talent? I mean, obviously, you have to look back at Jose Mourinho.
Yes.
And I'm surprised because I feel Jose was always brilliant at spotting talent, but how could he not see, or did he just not show it then, or has he just gone off and got confidence elsewhere? I don't know.
I think the question that you originally asked there is a really poignant one. And actually, I'd really be interested in your thoughts on this. So please comment below and let us know what you think to the Mourinho-De Bruyne saga. But the question that you asked there is excellent. And the question is, should Mourinho have spotted that De Bruyne was going to be a world-class talent?
Like he said about many other players we've had in the past, and he's been right, But with this one, he got it wrong.
Yeah, and this was all over Twitter. After De Bruyne scored that wonderful winner against PSG, this was the debate on Twitter amongst the Chelsea community. Was Mourinho wrong? For me, of course, it's a shame to let a player like that go, but hindsight's a wonderful thing. You let a player go for £18 million who's only played 3 games for you, it seems like good business. But then, there's a lot, isn't there? I think letting David Luiz go was arguably an error. I think letting Juan Mata go was certainly an error. Petr Cech to Arsenal looked like it was going to give them the league.
No, I think for me that's one of the biggest mistakes. But interesting, let's talk about, could we be talking about Hazard in this way in next season or a couple of seasons down the line? This is an interesting player because he was Player of the Year, Writers' Player of the Year, best player in the league by far last season, had an unbelievable season and has then turned around and had a shocking season. And a lot of Chelsea fans are happy to see him go. A lot of Chelsea fans are also saying, no, let's give him another chance. We've got a new manager. What's your take? Because I really hope we're not in a couple of seasons, if we let him go, going, why did we let Hazard go?
I'll give you my take, but I'll also give you my dream, if that's okay.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'll give you my dream first. My dream is that Antonio Conte comes in and restores Eden Hazard to the miraculous football player that we know he can be. That's the dream.
Okay.
My reality, and I'm acquiescing to the fact that I think this has got a summer move written all over it, and it will come back and bite us on the bum.
I hope personally, I hope we don't let him go. I hope that we allow Conte to build a relationship with him and bring out the best in him, because I don't think, given the position we are currently in at the moment and will be for the next couple of seasons without Champions League football, I don't think we can afford to let players of the calibre of Hazard, and yes, granted, he's had a very bad season, but I don't think you can become a shambolic player overnight. Maybe we'll never know the reason as to why he's had such a bad season, but I would like to say, and also, I don't know where you'd get such a big price tag from him now after this season, so I definitely hope to see him stay.
You're right, though. We can't allow players. I listed a few just moments ago where we've let excellent football players leave the club. We can't keep doing that. And Eden Hazard is a phenomenal football player, so let's keep him at the club and get him back to his former self.
Agreed.
Because we became obsessed, didn't we? We went through this period of being obsessed with FFP, and then it never really materialised. No. So let's try and keep hold of our talent. Talking about Eden Hazard, you will now find out if he has made our starting 11 versus Manchester City. Right. Let's do it. This is our team, and I think that there's a few surprises in, so please let us know what you think of this team. The obvious place to start is goalkeeper, and that is, of course, Thibaut Courtois. He didn't play against Swansea. Begovic did okay, but Thibaut Courtois is a world-class keeper who I also hope stays at the club. There's another one, exactly the same.
Yeah, again, we were talking about, does he want to stay at the club? Does he have the desire to stay at the club? You're hearing different reports. I do hope we do keep him because he's young and he's extremely talented. Again, he's been hit by injury this season and he hasn't had a great season, but I'm just hoping that the new manager coming in will just revitalise the squad and these players.
And let's have it right as well. It's important to remember that Thibaut Courtois, regardless of any comments he's made or any performances that he's put in that haven't been perfect, is a world-class keeper.
Agreed.
So Courtois plays.
Yeah.
Our left back is Ola Reina. There, we just told you straight away. There you go. No need. And I think that is going to. The reason there's no build up there is because we're setting a tone. That is the tone for this game. I often get grief on this channel for being overly optimistic. And even I have been worn out by this Chelsea team. We are not going to make the Europa League, despite my dream of making it. And this period that we're in now has to be used simply to get the best out of the youth and look forward to next year.
Just look at it as like a pre-season.
So Ola Reina, do you think he's up to the challenge?
Yes, because I think playing against Swansea, the performance we looked like we lacked desire. Yeah. And I just want to see young players coming through who have the hunger, have the desire, have the drive to succeed and impress the new manager, which I think that's where you're going to. Definitely. And I think, why not? Why not?
He gets the club. He's been there for a long time. He's come through the system. Let's get him on the pitch. You see what happens when other clubs allow their players from the youth team to play. Look what Rashford did the other night against West Ham. It's fantastic. Imagine what Dom Solanke could do given half a chance. So, Ola Reina is in, and I am very excited about seeing it, and I hope that Hiddink heeds our advice.
we're
putting that alongside the experience of Ivanovic.
Yeah, because we believe obviously John Terry he would obviously be our first choice, but John Terry is still injured. We believe he's still having treatment, as it's come out and said. And personally, I think he won't be fit for a few games and possibly just make it for the Leicester game.
Yes, so. I think that is. He has to play against Leicester. We need an opportunity to say
goodbye.
Thank you. Yeah. So let's make sure he's fit for that. But Ivanovic will play, and we've then gone through exactly the same recipe. We've now got some more youth alongside him, and we've gone for Matt Miazga. Matt Miazga was very good against an appalling Aston Villa team. Not so good against an average Swansea team, but again, it's a process of getting some games under his belt.
He needs more games, exactly. It's all down to fitness.
And again, similar vibes. Cesar Azpilicueta right back. Again, I think that you can see kind of the theory that we've gone for here. We're trying to combine some experience with some youth, and hopefully that will really benefit everybody. Right, moving further forward. We've gone for a slightly different thing here. Obviously, Ruben Loftus-Cheek's been playing quite a long way forward recently, but we're going to play him slightly deeper to allow for some other players further up.
We're really excited about this next one coming up.
But so Ruben Loftus-Cheek is going to play sort of holding slightly further back than he's used to, but Ruben Loftus-Cheek with Cesc Fabregas.
Yeah.
This makes sense, do you think?
Definitely. It will make sense when you say who you want to put in next.
Do you think we're asking a lot of Loftus-Cheek here because obviously Fabregas' natural disposition is to think forward. Mm-hmm. He's a forward-thinking player. Do you think that Ruben Loftus-Cheek has the minerals and the discipline to perhaps sit and do what Fabregas will instruct him to do?
Well, I guess there's only one way to find out, and it's to play him in these positions and play him, full stop.
Definitely.
Just get game time, basically.
Right, so we'll go right wing now. We think that there's been injuries in that position, so we've gone for Pedro.
Yeah, I think, again, I think no one had a very good performance, but I think if anyone showed a little bit of spark was Pedro. You saw him, the chances, the assist he potentially put on for Pato that never put them away.
Yeah,
but,
Jamie Vardy would have scored that back flick, wouldn't he?
You would have scored that back flick. But yeah, so definitely we've gone for Pedro.
Yeah, I think that's correct. He got a couple of goals at Villa as well. So let's get Pedro playing again, and hopefully again for next season we could be relying on a player of his quality. Now's where it gets very, very exciting. We've gone for, look at us, here we are together. That's me and my hero, Charlie Colkett. I think that he is well deserved of this position. He was on the bench against Swansea. Let's get him playing. I think he's up to it. I know he's hungry. I'm just really, really excited about this. And we are throwing these players in the deep end, make no question about that. We're fully aware of what we're doing. We're fully aware of the quality of Manchester City. But we believe that these players have the minerals, so let's give them a chance. Charlie Colkett is in. As is...
All the best, Charlie.
All the best, Charlie. No doubt you can do this. As is Kennedy. You're a huge fan of Kennedy, aren't you?
I am a massive fan of Kennedy, and what I've seen of him so far this season, I want to see a lot more of him. And again, it's all about game time and getting him playing. And I just think, listen, even if we get absolutely trounced by City, on Saturday, it doesn't really matter. No. What does matter is going forward and next season and these players that we've got to start filtering out,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's what City did. It's what City did against us in the cup, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, but we've gone for a bit more of a blend.
A little bit of experience thrown in.
And playing up front is Bertrand Traoré. And we know that that's not his necessarily his favoured position, but I think that he's great there. Let's get him some minutes under his belt. He scores goals for the first team. There's no doubt about that. So let's get him playing. And what's the point in playing Falcao? Like, what's the point? Like last week at Swansea when they brought Falcao on at the end, I was just like, oh, God's sake. Like, what are we doing? So I think that it's time for Traoré to be on the pitch. And
I agree. But I want to know your thoughts on Pato, because why has Pato been brought in? Okay, we understand he got brought in on loan. He wasn't fit, which I found very odd choice. He's only just started playing. I thought his debut against Villa was pretty impressive. Yeah. Obviously, taking into account
he had something to do with almost all the goals.
Yeah, exactly. Taking into account the opposition, he did miss certainly a second very easy sitter. But again, that's down to confidence and game time, I believe. So, would you not play him more?
No, absolutely not. I really wouldn't. I don't think he's been brought to
I love how you don't sit on the fence.
No, I really wouldn't. When we were at Swansea and he missed that one, it was just so depressing. It really was. And I was going into that Swansea game, I was so optimistic that we could make the Europa League, having seen what happened the previous week against Villa. Wasn't to be. What's the point? What's the point of Falcao?
Do you not see Pato being
I don't.
there next season?
This is purely my opinion, not a fact at all. But my opinion on Pato is that he's been brought in as a favour to the club. You know, he's something to do with Kia Jarabshian. I don't think he's been brought in for football reasons. I like him. I wish him well, but I can't see the point. Give me Traore any day of the week.
Okay.
That concludes it. That's our team. Please do us a favour, comment below. Let us know what you make of this team. And also, do you like this new look preview? If you do, please give it a thumbs up just so we can monitor it. And of course, if you don't like it, we'll change it because this is your channel. Sophia, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Go on you Blues. Welcome to Backpage Blues. I'm joined by Charlie the Hurricane Skillen from the Mail Online. And as you can see, we have a slightly revamped Backpage Blues for you.